Hello.
That light.
Can I move what light?
That light.
That light?
Yeah.
Is that doing a problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you move it?
Can I move it?
Yeah, like you normally. That's it. That's
Oh, you
what
couldn't see my face.
do. That's what you normally do. Oh, wait a minute.
Sounds on, Crimson.
God, wait a minute. Oh, where's the sound?
It's your laptop.
Hit the button.
Hit the button. Hello. Glad you can all see and hear. Apologies for being a little bit late. It doesn't matter whether you can. All that tells us is that I haven't gone mute.
Well, that's important, isn't it? On a live stream.
I could use sign language that I don't know. We could play charades. Huh.
Oh, dear.
Right. Okay. Well, here we go. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, the chat is on subscribers only. It's to cut down on the spam, but you only have to be a subscriber for like 60 seconds before you can post something. But it's an anti-spam thing.
That's its technical term.
Yeah.
It's an anti-spam thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the metaphorical equivalent of a tray of batter and a deep fat fryer. Fritter in that spam. Or some words like that. Oh, what a week. We were getting about 5 or 6 spams a go. I get quite a few on the videos I post. They're all signposting porn, so I report them. And presumably...
After watching it, obviously, it was just there.
It was hanging in the air. That had been... Never mind. So, so...
Nick the Machine!
Hey, super chat from Nick the Machine. Thank you, sir. Loving the braces, Paul. Why, thank you, sir. They are purely functional. Gentlemen of a certain...
They are very functionable, and I'm glad he's still wearing them.
Gentlemen of a certain girth. They are girth. Girth. They are very effective at holding up one's trousers without trying to cheese wire their way through your belly, which belts do to me. So, yes, purely practical. And I get to be sort of oldie-worldy. Anyway. So, usual format, I will ramble a bit about the last week, but a slight change to the first part of the usual format. I'm going to ramble a bit about this last week, and Crimson's going to ramble a little bit about her last week. Yes, she is.
Oh, no. Oh, you didn't tell me we were doing that this week.
Calling your bluff.
Oh, my God. That's very unfair.
Yes. That's who I am.
What's the necklace, Paul?
Oh, it's my work pass.
He even has his face on his work pass.
Well, you kind of have to. Wolf Corky says, "Gentleman of a certain girth" sounds like an adult film title.
Exactly. That's what he does with his time. Seriously. This is it. You all have no idea.
It's funny because it's childish. So a bit of a what we've been doing, defamation of character on my own. Do I sue myself or you? Interesting question.
I don't have any money, so don't sue me. A bit worthless. Worthless.
So yes, bit of a summary of this last week. Then ramble about OnlyFans. Never. No one wants to pay for that. But it has been considered in the paradigm of how to make money off YouTube, but not considered for very long. Then a ramble about the subject.
Oh no, don't! I don't want my own camera mic because most of the time I'm not even dressed properly. Well, that's not that I'm naked. I mean, I am dressed. This is my
arm for evidence.
I am dressed, but quite a lot of the time I'm not.
What you mean to say is you are currently suitable to be on camera, but sometimes you're not.
No, I'm not. I'm not
sufficiently done up as you would wish to be to appear on camera.
Not.
Indeed.
But thank you, Nick. That's really sweet.
Yes, it did turn quickly, Tony.
Yes, hot tub. Oh, I'm loving. Thank you. Still can't say your name, so I'm going to call you SG. But very good. Yeah.
Well, you understand sanguination. You're a nurse.
I know, but I can't say it very well.
Sanguineous.
I don't.
Or
I can't say it very well, although I do understand it. I can't say it very well.
The blood guy. You could say the blood. It's just telling you to carry on.
No, not the blood guy.
A carry on film would get higher ratings.
And also, you get paid for those. Yes. Barbara Windsor and all that.
Well, that killed the conversation.
Whilst we've got a gap in the conversation, can you? Matron Moog, yes. Can I do something? I've got a little surprise. You know how we've got lots and lots of lobsters, but we haven't got a green one.
You said you were knitting a green lobster, but
I've done it
so long ago.
How good is that? It's really not, by the way. It's really not. It's just an attempt at a green lobster. Oh. Yay for the green. Oh, it's cute. It's fat, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks.
He's a fat lobster.
Thanks
Not
for that.
you. The lobster's fat. Well, the lobster is very fat. Oh, thank you, Soft Wool. That's really kind.
Well, so people are asking about a level 3 channel membership, and I can create a level 3 channel membership, but you won't get anything for it.
Except for the green lobster.
On
your head.
I suppose I could create a level 3, which would just mean that you get the green lobster whenever you sign up. Which I'm sure would mean people would sign up and then unsign so they can sign up again to repeat the green lobstering.
Maybe that would happen. Little bondage for the lobster. That is your gift. See how nice I am? See how well I treat you?
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That's amazing.
Do it. We could subscribe to it. Oh.
I don't know what to say now.
Oh, can't we get the green lobster on level 1?
So thanks for coming. I'm done now. I'm just going to stare at the lobster for the next hour and a half.
Okay.
It's so
pretty. Have you finished about this week then now?
No, we haven't started about this week.
Oh, right. Okay, go on then.
Why?
I'm just saying.
Okay, so.
Tell them about your week.
I've very little recollection of the last 7 days. What has happened the last 7 days? What did we do? What happened at the weekend? I played a game on Friday. Got I remember the news now. So played a game. Well, I have got 5 lobsters, so we could do 5 levels. Played a game on Friday. Had a Gambit round, and we played Necrons versus Tau. He's had a Tau army for quite a while and has played it precisely twice. And so I basically shoved the book in his mitt when he turned up and went, "We're playing Tau," which he already knew because he had to bring the Tau around with him. That was a really, really good game. That was part 3 of the series that we've had going on in the members' lounge, the 5th sphere of expansion. It was on the poor blighted world that has seen a lot of trouble from a lot of quarters. Some Necrons randomly turn up. Well, very specifically turn up. It's elaborated in the report, obviously. The mega news of the week was Crimson's hobby vlog went live yesterday. Woo! From the AOS.
I don't know why I'm applauding.
Woohoo!
Oh dear. No.
From the AOS day at NAS Community Day at Tabletop Events in Belper, when Crimson did a superb job of going around and talking to people and just being awesome and videoing things and people. And I haven't told her yet, but I've decided she's like my official filming person for events now.
I had lots of fun, to be fair. I had lots and lots of fun, and everybody was really, really kind and let me speak to them for a long time. I was bugging a lot of people, so everybody was really kind. So thank you for that.
Yes, that was great. That was great. And that was the first piece of Say Hi Paul content I got to watch without having filmed it.
Oh, yes, it was a total surprise.
It was great. It was great. Loved that. So what else? So my plan for I did a review / hobby vlog for a company called warfactor.eu, who sent me a bunch of bases a little while ago. They are base converters. I did a review yonks ago, which was 25. There were converters to change a 25mm round base to a 32mm, and they just sort of clipped on and you glue them. I did them with the Alpha Legion, but they also sent me through more recently some things. There were two things that were new about them. One, they were square base converters to change a 25mm square base into a 32mm round. They couldn't go 25 to 25 because the shape of the square makes the difficult. The other thing is the plastic that they used was I want to say ethical plastic. It was bioplastic made from soybeans. And the finish was all right. So that was that hobby vlog, and I had to look for things. Oh! 1 minute. Paul Gray, shameless Crimson Ribbon plug. Can't wait to come up and be involved. Why, thank you, sir. Crimson Ribbon, our community narrative campaign on the 20th of June. The 20th in about 5 weeks. Oh my God, it's in 5 weeks. On the 25th and 26th of June at Tabletop Events in Belper. It's Chaos versus Imperial. It is going to be absolutely amazing. And that's what I was going to do Saturday morning. I remember now. I was going to write stuff for the Crimson Ribbon. I thought I'd forgotten. I will do that Sunday morning.
Oh, yes.
I will do that Sunday morning. So because I did that, I had to look for some models that I had on square bases that I probably wasn't going to use again, likely on in Fantasy Battle, that would go to the right size bases in AOS. So I found a couple of Skaven models that, according to the website, are on newer, bigger bases. Hurrah! So I did a couple of tests and rebased one and painted it, and I'm like, there you go, it's a Warlock. Yeah, Warlock engine seer. So I finished that. I did that on Sunday morning, and I went, right, now I'm painting Nice Haunts. And then I look back at the Skaven. I looked at the box of Nighthawks, and I look back at the Skaven, and I look back at the Nighthawks. So I've been rebasing about 200 Skaven, was what the rest of Sunday was spent doing. Going through, trying to work out what bases they're all meant to be on, and trying to work out an effective way of taking them off and then putting them back on a different base, obviously. I only lost a couple of legs to the process before I realized I really couldn't sort of lever them off. I had to sort of clip from under the feet and accept that some of them were going to lose a couple of toes. And yeah, some of them lost a couple of toes. So far, I also explored, there's a vlog coming about this. I also explored my old work in progress boxes and found all sorts of shenanigans that are midway through. But the ones that are actually done, I think I had about 150 clan rats. It's a lot of clan rats. Not so much for Fantasy Battle, it's a lot for AOS. 20 plague monks, or 15, what they called, Sky Acolytes, some night runners, ogres, giant rats, packmasters, catapult, cannon, rattling gun, all the toys. So currently I've got as far as sanding them all, but then I did a batch and I thought, right, I will now go and sand and paint these. And no sooner had I sanded them all, I looked at the rest of them thinking, oh, blow it, and started clipping those off as well. So I have a funny feeling I'm going to be clipping all the I'm going to be rebasing the lot, which will give me a not particularly varied, well, it'll be mostly infantry. Which is all right. And then I've got things still to build. I've got my Skaven. No, what they call them, not Skaven. The big ones in Vermintide that chop your head off.
Oh, they not with the Gatling guns, no.
No.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a pen in her mouth. I haven't gagged her.
Sorry, yeah. No, don't flatter yourself. I can't remember.
Storm vermin.
They're the buggers.
So yeah, I haven't even assembled the storm vermin, so they're way down the list. But I've got some stuff that's half assembled. So the plague sensors are assembled and ready to paint. So are the Doom Wheel and the Hell Pit Abomination. And another unit. Oh, another 20 plague monks. So so I kept on thinking, oh, there's no point in clipping this model off the base because you're never going to paint it. Because that's the thing that goes round in my mind a lot. And then I keep having to say to myself, no, they're already painted. Just get them based. I'm like, oh yeah, then we can totally use them. It'd be like my biggest AOS army, like overnight. Yeah. So that was Sunday. Did a bit more on that yesterday. And that's what I've done so far. How's your week gone? And your hobby week?
Slowly, because I've been so busy. What does that mean? Read that out, Paul.
Well, it says dare you to read it out loud. So presumably it either says something rude when you pronounce it, or it's some kind of evil demon summoning ritual from the Necronomicon or something like that.
Let's hope it's that one. Go for it.
Statistica Nuda Jama Vask Sene. I don't know.
Is that what it means?
I don't know.
Is that what it means, Mr. Guard? Switch to the Crimson Cam. Has he just interpreted it?
Now I don't know. I don't know if the YouTube algorithm, if that's something obscene in another language, whether the YouTube algorithm will pick it up.
Well, if it is, then we're blaming Blue Star. Blue Star. Blue Star. Blue Star.
So in the last week, though, you have assembled.
I have assembled. Yes. Yeah.
A Doomfire Warlock.
I have, and I've got the rest of them to do.
And we've got a new gadget, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Because it's difficult. I don't know whether anybody knows this, but I've got a back problem. I had a bad car accident, and I've got a back problem, and I'm waiting for surgery. So my hands sometimes can tremble a little bit. So we have got a device which I do suggest for anybody who's struggling like that. It is fantastic, and it's like we ought to have brought it up, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's like got mini grabbers. Do that, Paul. Do that. It's like got mini grabbers.
It's a soldering iron holder. It's for holding plates and things. It's like 4 arms with little crocodile clips, and it holds them in place, so you don't have to get the fine motor control over the tiny pieces of all the elves.
Yeah, so it's really good. It's really cool. So yes, I've got that. So I'm gonna be cracking on. That's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be cracking on. I got the videos to Paul for him to pop on there, so which everybody's been really complimentary about. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I think that's I've been in the hot tub 3 times. Does that count?
Makes you very relaxed.
Well, I was very relaxed. I think
I raked the lawn and gave myself blisters on my hands.
Back to him.
Back to me. It's all about me.
Absolutely.
And you were saying?
And I wasn't ready, so I haven't written anything down.
That's fine.
Because in my little head, I have to write everything down.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'll tell you what I have done. No, wait for it. I'll tell you what I have done. We have created the Crimson logo. Haven't we?
We have.
Yeah. Which is very cute.
We haven't used it on anything yet, but
no, we haven't. And obviously, it's not going on sort of the say hi Paul stuff, but we've got a logo for me. So, yeah, which is
it totally is.
Which is really good. So, and we'll share that with you at another time.
Yeah. So good stuff.
I have been.
So it's been a week. It's been a week.
And I've got a new machine for doing merchandise. That's another thing. So for t-shirts and everything like that.
Oh, so yeah, we've invested in a
machine.
You know, when you have like a pattern on a shirt that's like a kind of polythene type thing, with the machine that makes it do the thing.
Yeah, with the heat and the thing and the sticky on, so it don't come off it washer thing. It's all technical terms. Yeah, we've done that. We did that.
Did that. Yeah, did that. Yeah. So, on to goodness me, it's warm in here. Are you warm in here?
Boiling.
It is incredibly warm in here.
Put this fan on me.
Yeah, it's all right. All about you. Still no sponsorship deal. Who'd have thought it? So, yes, the subject of today's ramble, I have to remember what it is because I can't see it in front of me, and I wrote it down. Oh, yes. So, it's a combination of things from various different places that I have been and seen, and So, I recently read, and by read, I mean had it inserted into my ears.
I forgot one thing.
All right,
sorry.
Princess.
I've just forgot one thing. I've just forgotten to say that my gorgeous and lovely niece is watching tonight, Grace. So she's watching. So I'm sending her loads and loads and loads of love. Right, I finished now.
Okay.
Say hi, Grace.
Hi, Grace.
There you go. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. So, oh yes, I read / listened to Kragnos, Age of Empires. Now, I don't know what I expected from that particular book, but I really enjoyed it. there was quite a bit. Obviously, there was the obligatory stuff about I don't know where I was going with that. So, so what am I actually going to say about that? There's a lot of really cool stuff about the realm of Gur, about the nature of the realm. Lots of really nice descriptive stuff of various animals and being predators and prey, and even the plants being predatory. Very cool. And the attack on an ogre city by the forces of Sigma. One thing that was very interesting was they started talking about the Reclaimed. Now, I hadn't cottoned on to this. In a previous book, they were talking about the Reclaimed, and it was in Shaiish, and I assumed that was just the name of a group of people in Shaiish, but it isn't. It's what I take it to be is any of the people who survived the Age of Chaos, the peoples who lived through and were then reclaimed by Azir when the Azerites came out and have sort of come back to the fold, not Chaos worshippers. So the Reclaimed in Shaiish sort of have all sorts of superstitious, quaint practices for dealing with the undead, some of which work, some of which don't. I mean, they'll say things like, and remember, throw some rice behind you when you're being chased by a spectre, and they have to stop and count the grains. And dead. But in Gur, they're very sort of big, brutal, almost animalistic. Like one of them's a cannibal, and like that's fine. And they're incredibly so like the Shaishan ones are sort of morose, but the Gurish ones are very brash, very upfront, very sort of action oriented, like they have been molded by Gur. And there's some very nice lines there. Gur will make savages of us all. Very, very cool. But the context it gets used in again and again and again. Very cool. It talks about the realm stone having a profound effect on the people that it comes into contact with. And that sort of links in, I think, to the notion of the incarnates. So the G-Dubs have released the Gurish incarnate, the Kronspine incarnate, in off the back of the Thondia campaign book. But at the heart of the Kronspine incarnate is a massive lump of amber bone. It's realm stone, and that sort of shapes the it sort of gives it sort of spirit, its aspect, form, which is what the Kronspine is. Anyway, I digress. But there's lots of bits of amber. Like at one point, someone picks up a piece of amber and it bites them. And it's sort of like tiny slivers of amber bone go into the person's hand and then make them really aggravated and sort of action-oriented and, with unpleasant consequences. I'm doing my best. I think I'm pretty sure I'm avoiding spoilers. But really good stuff about the nature of Gur and so on. Some good bits with the forces of destruction. So like there was a goblin shaman vying with an Iron Jaws mega boss, and there's a sort of bit when they're squaring off and forming an alliance, and how they like the Iron Jaw has to respect the fact that this shaman has been wily enough to make it to the head of his clan, and is potent with sort of poisons and magic and being sneaky and stabbing, and the shaman has to respect the fact that the Iron Jaw is an awful lot bigger than he is. So there's some. Oh, hello, Fairball. So there's some really cool bits like that in. But the thing that really, one of the things I really didn't know what to expect with Kragnos, but he is incredibly incredibly articulate and well spoken, and it's incredibly disconcerting to everyone involved, because he'll say things like when he comes in contact with the Stormcasts, he says, "I smell Dracothian on you," and it's real. The way it's the voice acting, it's really sinister, and yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. And there's one bit where he's walking along at the head of his army that he's raised, and the shaman on the spider has been given permission to ride up front with him, and that Kragnos is making conversation with him, and the spider's like, what do I say? It's like he's chatting. Oh, I remember such and such a god when he did this, and he kicked the thing and it went halfway across the realm. And it's like, what? You sort of got the shaman's like in a monologue going, "What on earth do I say to that?" He's like, "Does we have to destroy everything?" It's like, yes. Oh. So yeah, that's really good. It's really made me want to get Kragnos. Surprise! I read something and it made me want to run out and buy it. Haven't run out and bought it yet though, which is progress. Although having seen it for the first time in a cabinet in Warhammer World the other week, very small. Well, not that small, but sort of small. I expected it to be sort of half the height of, or more than half the height of Nagash, and be on a massive base, and it to be all torso. And I sort of had something in mind. In that, what's it? The 40k that corn weird thing on tracks that they did, the Skull Crusher. I want to say Skull Crusher. I had in my mind something on that sort of size, but it's much more like just sort of a big horse. It's more like the size of a Mournfang than anything else, with just longer legs and a torso. So I was like, oh, it's not very big. But it does some very impressive things, which I won't go into. But yeah, cool. Oh, because there's also something about the heartbeat, and they call it the orcs and things worship it and call it the Great Trampler, and they don't even know why they like it or why they want to follow it. But it's like, and it smashes stuff just because it can, and they're like, yeah, follow the Trampler. It's good. I thoroughly endorse it. Cheers. So thirsty. Emptied the bin. That's why it's a thud and not a crash of more cans falling out of the bin. So one of the other things that I have been re-listening to is now, why was I going to say this? So it's the Avengoriii. I decided on the way home that I was going to talk about the Avengoriii. Or was it on the way into work? But can I remember what I was going to say about them? Can I remember what I was going to say about the Avengoriii, Sarah?
No, I'm eating a wine gum.
Okay. Hey, Mick, go for it. That's right. So I was, well, maybe this is right, maybe it isn't. So yeah, the Avengoriii in Gur. So the book, I'm partway through, so I can't spoil the ending because I don't know it. But the Avengoriii are sort of seriously bestial vampires. They're sort of like 6-limbed, half lizard, half dragon vampire monstrosities. They're grotesque. but they're set in Gur. And in this particular book I'm reading, what's it called? Dynasty of Nightmares? Dynasty of Nightmares? Hang on. One minute. Talk amongst yourselves. No phone, no game. Dynasty of Monsters. Dynasty of Monsters. And so the basic synopsis of the book thus far is the Avengoriii dynasty and the some of the free people of Gur have to team up to fight a massive beastman horde. But as a side question, I can't work out. I can't make up my mind whether I think beastmen are in the right place in chaos or whether they should also be in destruction. I'll let that one percolate and see if I can come up with some actual opinions on that rather than just a random supposition. But they have to team up, and so they end up going. The Avengoriii end up coming to this imperial city, and it's all very jolly, and many shenanigans were had, and there was much rejoicing. But it made me think because the Avengoriii are so deformed and bestial that only the very few of them are able to hold on to their hold back their bloodlust when surrounded by prey beasts, and for prey beasts read us. And it got me. The way it was all described was superb, and as it always does, I looked at it and thought, wonder how you could do an army of those. But are any of the vampires Avengoriii? Ding, 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 ding. Oh, they've got the Lady of Nightmares. Or is the Queen of Nightmares? They've got the big one. Oh, could I do a 1,500 point this? Well, what would your troops be? I don't want the zombies and skeletons as troops for them because they're not like that. They're massive undead monsters and vampires. I'm like, there's a pitched battle profiles, and troops in Avengoriii are terrorgeists. Sorry, not troops. Battle line. Terrorgeists and zombie dragons. Okay, so direwolves. That direwolves could work. They're bestial. All right, look at what else there is. All right, terrorgeists. Are they terrorgeists or vargeists? They're vargeists. Basically, the big flappy psychotic vampires. So yeah, and you want some of those flapping around, and yeah, you want some of those giant bats. Yeah. And basically, it looks like the general who's like 300 points, even the cheapest one, and two battle lines, so a zombie dragon and a terrorgeist, and then a few random flying things. It's like, how? Like, is that going to work? Is that not going to work? And by work, do I mean lose all my friends? But it's interesting. There's not. I had imagined. I would have imagined the Vargheists would have been battle line, but they're not. They're battle line for Legion of Night, which is Manfred von Carstein's. So you don't have to have the battle line if you've got a zombie dragon and a terrorgeist. Oh, bit beardy, but then beard down to my knees almost. Oh, I have a neck. I haven't seen that in a long time. Crimson, I've got a neck.
Oh yeah, no, I see it occasionally.
It exists.
Yeah. When you're doing your handstands, that's when I see it.
I haven't seen that in ages. Yeah. So Avengoriii. What's the story, Avengoriii? What would you like to know?
Any questions yet?
Yeah, that's a reasonable point to stop before we go on to the Ossiarch Bonereapers.
Kevin asks, how would you start an AOS on a budget? So if you had a budget, what would be the best place to start?
Okay, so did this go in the members' lounge? I think it did go in the members' lounge. A little while ago, my good friend The Claw started an AOS army on a budget, and he, when we did the first game together, we did we had a chat about it and we filmed it, and that's on the channel somewhere. So I would have a look at that because he talks he talks through that. But from my own observations, as well as what I've learned from The Claw, is if you pick your is eBay. eBay is your friend, and when there are boxes that are currently on sale that people break up for the pieces, then try and get some of the pieces on the eBay. There are lots of things that one should be able to get quite inexpensively. There are the auctions some of them will run and run and run, but some of them you can get a decent clutch of things for £3, £4, £5. And if you were to look at something like Stormcast Eternals, that's probably somewhere in the region of 100, 120, possibly even higher points for a relatively small investment. So trawling eBay. eBay Rescues are good as well, but then you've got the expense of having to strip the models. And I guess part of it is patience and being methodical in the regularity of checking what's available, and when there's a bargain, grabbing the bargain, and being a bit disciplined with the bidding, because sometimes having done this myself in the past, it's very tempting to go, this is a bargain, I'm going to bid £6. So someone goes to £6.10 and you go £7, £7.10, £8. Before you know it, you're buying a £5 miniature for 40 quid. And so yeah, a bit of eBay and a bit of discipline, and some of the second-hand stuff. I would go Stormcast because the models are worth more points. There are also a number of storm hosts you can use, and things can go quite nicely with them. I would also try and grab a copy of the core rulebook from a box breaker as well. That way you don't pay the 50 quid for one, but you can get one for a relatively small piece of monies. And one other thing. Oh yeah, you don't get the missions in that book, so it isn't a complete thing. But if your opponent has the missions because they've got the big book. Oh no, my lobster has slipped. There you go, Lobby. So yeah, that's Question me.
Just a minute. I'm just telling Mickey's lovely.
Okay.
Okay, so Mick said, this is a really good question. I like this one.
Okay.
If Paul was only to paint models he already has in the house and not buy any more, so nothing new, how many months and years worth of painting would you have?
You and me are going to fall out, mate.
No, you're not. No, you're not, because this is a point I make all the time. I reckon that Kieran's kids would still be painting it.
Oh, yeah, there's more than I could possibly paint in my lifetime.
Yeah. Go on, how many years then?
Oh, I wouldn't get through it all. There's too much.
Oh.
I don't
Okay,
think.
then.
I think. Well, I've got
wow.
I've probably got about 25 unpainted armies.
Just then get some then.
I go through about 4,000 to 6,000 points a year, depending on how much I'm working. Those armies are probably I probably do 3 a year, maybe, of those armies. So maybe 8 to 10 years if I was on full tilt and didn't pay anything else. Question?
I've just decided to call him Bloodguard because it's easier. Did you hear about the Warhammer 40k and Magic the Gathering crossover? Sounds like a joke, that, doesn't it? Did you hear about?
Well, is that one of those jokes where Cleopatra turns out to be a goldfish?
Maybe.
I'm aware. One moment. I'm aware there is a sort of collectible card game type thing, which is which is based on 40k, and I know this because what be about 8-9 years ago now. I remember some of the graduates I was looking after in my previous place. At lunchtime, they were talking about 40k related things, but they were using language I didn't understand, and it turned out they were doing trading cards. They were thingy cards. So I'm aware that it exists, but no, I don't need another form of addiction. Still no sponsorship. You know, someone said to me once when we were talking about how caffeine-free Diet Coke tastes, and someone says, "Yeah, it's almost like Diet Coke, but it's missing something." Like, caffeine. Like, oh yeah. Any more?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, so we will go on
Just
to
lots of love for Kevin. Lots of people offering to help and stuff.
Cool. So we will go on to Ramble Part 3. So the Ossiarch Bonereapers. So when we went to Warhammer World the other week, that's the big one in the middle with the
super cool,
with the necropolis and all the bone being harvested, and I just now we bought the book and I've been reading. I haven't read enough. I had hoped to find time to do enough for a whole ramble on them, and I will. I imagine at some point, but man, there's just some. Just a few of the things just really struck me, which I really liked. So the Ossiarch Bonereapers, it's all about what I can only describe as bonemancy, where they don't actually raise they don't sort of raise the dead as such. They use magic to manipulate and shape the bone as a raw, almost like a raw material, into a physical form that they want, and then they ram souls into it. So it is, to all intents and purposes, to all intents and purposes, they are the equivalent of the Stormcast Eternals. And what I think is really cool with them is they're not just mindless automatons. They're given enough personality to be able to operate independently, very much like Stormcast Eternals. And they've come up with a world view which is really good from a longevity perspective. They, in the same way that a pack of lions doesn't slaughter all the wildebeests on day one, they only take what they need as and when, because then the herd continues and their source of food is perpetually available. The Ossiarch Bonereapers don't kill all the humans at once. I'm just scared I'm damaging his claw.
No, you're not. Don't worry. It's bendable.
They know they need a constant source of bone, and that is what people are for. Bone and souls. That's what people are for. So when they're expanding their empire, they'll rock up to a settlement and based on the size of the settlement go, we demand the tithe of 5 tons of bone and give us it by dawn or we will lay waste the entire city and leave not a man, woman or child alive. Your choice. At which point they go back inside and go, shall we go and dig up Granny? Yeah, I think we probably better add.
Oh, let me. Oh, nearly.
And that's what this diorama in Warhammer World had people dragging bags of bones into this necropolis and depositing them in a massive pile. It's a superb piece of installation art. It's really, really, really good. We loved it, didn't we?
We loved it, yeah. We stood there ages.
It was great. And then so long as they get the annual tithe from each place, they leave them be. They subjugate them and they are happy as Larry. If people don't cough up the bone, as it were, they lay waste them. Child. But one of the really interesting things with them is it's not just that they take bone from all different places and then manipulate it and grow it and repurpose it to be the shape they want it to be. They do the same thing with souls. So if they need a general, they'll get a bunch of souls and go, right, we need a level head, ding, throw the rest of that away. And we need stoicism, yeah, we'll have that. And we need some good military strategy, ding, right, squeeze and body press, filling it full of souls. But they sort of go, they had family. I don't need to know about that. Exactly the same way as Sigmar does. Exactly the same way as Sigmar does. Stripping away the bits of humanity that don't matter. But they sort of, it's almost like Lego with souls. They find the traits that they want in various souls, pick out the bits they want, ram them all together and stuff them into the body.
Exactly, Joe. Bring out your bone. That's it.
I think it's against YouTube policy. So let's not.
And it's not in my job description to observe that.
You haven't got a job description.
No, but if I had one,
it wouldn't be in it.
It wouldn't be in it.
Yeah, so the Ossiarch Bonereapers, very interesting. It's getting in my hair. Let's try it again. They really are. They are the Stormcast Eternals of Nagash. They're sort of the most trusted. They're what he sends when he really needs a job done, and he doesn't have to rely on feverish ghouls or insubstantial ghosts or anything else really. So yeah, Ossiarch Bonereapers. There was nearly an impulse purchase there. Thankfully, I say thankfully, onto the Skaven, and now thinking about the Avengoriii. That's how I end up with so many armies, right? I think of a cool idea. I buy the army, then I go, "Ooh, what's that over there?" and come on to another idea. That's how I end up with so much stuff. I'm running out of ramble. How are we for questions?
Okay, right.
More turned up.
Tony Andrews.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Paul. When will there be more Black Templars games? Templars
Black
games.
Templars. Yeah. So I recently played a game with Winters, my Black Templars, that went out on his channel about a week ago.
Not actually finished.
Well, you left a pause big enough to get a bus through.
Currently in the process of getting my scheme together and need some inspiration. And that's it. That one. And speak.
Why, thank you. Yeah, I did a game with Winters about 6 weeks ago now, but it went up on his channel, I think, last weekend. I can normally tell when he posts stuff between the two of us because I get a big hike in subscriptions because people go, what, he's got a channel? And Joe, it's amazing that it remains hidden. So yes, I used almost everything I had in that. I've still got about 1,200 points because I am being such an utter butterfly and jumping around different things. I'm not focused on any one thing too long. That said, in the half dozen 40k armies that are in the forefront of my mind, that's the Imperial. That's one of the 2 Imperial ones I would want to work on. But the problem is there's like half a dozen 40k, half a dozen AOS armies, which means 12 hours. That's like 3 years worth of work, and that's just what the priority is in my mind at the moment. So it's crackers. It's absolutely crackers. So nothing else just yet. And because I'm on a big AOS kick at the moment, not likely to paint many more of those in the immediate future. But for info, Tony, I can see you're going to go and watch that. It's Death Guard. It's 1,000 points. Death Guard versus Black Templars, and it's an interesting game. It's an interesting game. So I hope you enjoy it. But pardon.
That nothing. This is just talking to Joe and Mick.
The Bone Sea Men. Huh. Question me, but not my life choices.
But I wouldn't dare. Blood God. Magic is not based on Warhammer 40k, but as of the 12th of August, Magic is releasing 4 special Warhammer decks, with the only cards revealed so far being Abaddon, Blood for the Blood God, and a Suppressor Squad.
Yeah. Interesting. So that's actual. It's not sort of vaguely like Magic the Gathering. It is actually a Magic the Gathering crossover. Interesting. I haven't played Magic the Gathering in about 25 years. 23 years. Made me feel slightly younger. Yeah, we used to play a lot at school, actually, in 6th form. Not so much university. Yeah, it was mainly school I played that. So it was mostly 25 years. I did have all my Magic the Gathering cards. Ended up going rotten in a box in a garage that was letting in water. There were some good ones in there as well. Remember the Jester's Mask, the Jester's Cap. That was one. And Gaia's Liege. That was one. Yeah, anyway. Fourth ed.
Porn comic to me.
Well, quite.
Immortan Joe. So Joe says, now that Nagash has a new war scroll in the Night Haunt book, are you excited to get him built and painted? I didn't even need to ask that. I could have just put, of course.
I am, but I feel like I need to get the Night Haunts up to sort of like 3,000 points first. I don't want to put like Nagash and then there's like 20 other models on the battlefield. That will feel really supremely wrong. I want to have like 100 models and Nagash, including cavalry and coaches and all the toys. Like a pyramid scheme, it needs to feel right. Same as when you put a Primarch on the battlefield. It needs to feel like the apex of something, unless you're playing a very, very, very specific scenario. So, yes, it all depends how much Nighthaunt hold my attention, which depends on how long Skaven hold my attention. And if anything else comes along that will take my attention. Because my attention is a rare commodity.
Oh, your attention. Oh, sorry.
What a bitch.
There's a question from Teutonic Knight just come on there if you want to answer that.
Oh, so I'm going to read it out, am I?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you're up to date with the questions, so go on.
Well, that's fine. So, are you hourly or something? So when Heresy 2.0 comes out, are you going to do anything with the Horus Heresy? Also, when the Chaos Spacemen come out, are we going to get more War of the Ten Legions? So, am I going to do anything with Heresy 2.0? No. If I were full-time hobby, I totally would. But I have enough difficulty keeping on top of 40k and AOS. Unless my phone's telling me it's time for bed. For 40k and AOS, and with AOS, I'm trying to build up a range of armies, and I haven't got the bandwidth to commit to doing that for another system. It's a simple answer. Is the simple answer. When the
I was wondering that as well, Moog. Hourly.
Hourly, paid by the hour. Are you wanting to get through it all really quick? Are you taking your labour home, that kind of thing?
Oh, right. Okay, just checking.
Not like an owl.
That's not what I was thinking.
Hourly. Oh, okay.
Just for the record, no. No. Murph! Murph's in the room! Murph!
And when the Chaos Spaceman Codex comes out, are we going to get more War of the Ten Legions? That all depends on the Chaos Space Marine Codex, because as regular viewers will know, the Eldar Codex has absolutely destroyed Eldar for me. I'm unlikely to play them again until they get a new book, unless something drastic changes. I might play the odd game here or there, but my favourite army is now, in my opinion, unplayable. If they do that with Chaos, I might do very little with Chaos. If it's a good book and it makes them feel narrative and they aren't stupidly overpowered and stomping everything to death, then yeah, there'll be more War of the Ten Legions. Absolutely. Although I will probably not be doing it as solo hammer at the moment, because that is very difficult for my mental elf, the elf that lives in my ment. So I'm mostly doing face-to-face hammer. So I'll probably be finding opponents to play against to make those matchups. No, they don't come out as narrative, those battle reports. They're more sort of, they're banter hammer rather than super focused narrative hammer. But that's the way it is. It's
what was that?
I don't know.
Oh, it's sorry, it's my phone. It's my phone. It's fine.
Yeah. What about now?
Tony's stoked with the World Eater.
The Codex, yes.
Yeah.
Now, what'll be interesting to see with the World Eater Codex is how much they lean into the idea of a legion that's devolved, and how much they try and make it like the Blood Reavers from Age of Sigmar, because I'm really keen, because things like the World Eaters had assault marines, they had all sorts of different things, and I really want to see an element of that remain. I don't want to get a codex and then I can't use my assaulters, who are my raptors, and my other legionaries who aren't berserkers. So we shall see. We shall see. I await with anticipation. So, will I ever be able to, do you think you will ever manage to get Winters to play AOS? Well, I'm not trying to get him to play AOS. Winters has had he's had a tough time, and one of the things for his mental health is that he does what he wants to do. So me saying to him, play this, play this, play this, play this, doesn't help anyone. So I don't. He may at some point. He may not. We will see. Oh, I can see we have a super chat from Murph. Is Terrorgeist 6 mortal wounds on a 6 to wound hopelessly OP? The salt is real. Yeah, I know the salt's real. I am also a slug that has had that salt poured upon it and dissolved in a pit of Joe's tears of laughter.
Oh.
Having read it a number of times and looked at the prospect of using it myself, I would say that the thing that doesn't seem consistent with me is the fact that most other things that have if you roll an X to hit, they go straight through to mortal wounds mechanic. It's the same number of wounds that you would normally deal. So if you roll a 6, so with Cruel Boys, for example, you roll a 6 to hit. If you were doing 2 wounds, then you do 2 mortal wounds. What's different with the Terrorgeist is that it does D6 wounds, but automatically goes through to 6 wounds. So that doesn't feel consistent to me. I think to be consistent with the rest of the game mechanic, it should do D6 mortal wounds rather than a flat 6, is my opinion. And as the man with the one leg said, it's a matter of opinion. I used to hear that joke from my dad 2, possibly 3 times a day growing up. It took me quite a while to work out why it was funny.
I don't get it.
So, opinion is like a stick, so like a peg leg. As the man with the wooden leg said, it's a matter of opinion rather than opinion. If you have to explain it, it isn't funny, which is why I've never laughed at it to my knowledge. But I have, for some reason, and he sometimes watches this, thanks, Dad, I have absorbed that joke into my zeitgeist.
Thank you, Pete. That's wonderful. I think if you tell it face to face next time we see you, then that might be a bit funnier. Just thinking.
No.
Okay.
No, it wouldn't.
And if you are watching, loads of love to Jean. Mwah! I blew a kiss then, but you can't see it.
That's my mum. I doubt she's watching, but hi, Mum.
They are the loveliest people you will ever meet. He is incredibly lucky.
Which is why I am so lovely.
Incredibly lucky.
I am incredibly lucky, and that the apple did not fall from the tree. That is why I am lovely, yes.
They are incredibly lovely.
You keep emphasising they. Right, any more questions?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okie doke. Well, I am going to start today's thank yous by saying thank you, Crimson, for your amazing crowd pleasing and your question writing and all of your social skills, which I lack. I mean, I'm talking at a camera and yeah, thanks. Do we have shout outs?
We do. Super
chats. Mick the Machine, and I'm sure there was another. Paul Gray did one as well.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Paul Gray, Mr. Gray. Forgot him. I'll put him on. Yeah.
Big thank you to Mick the Machine, Murph, and Paul Gray for your super chats. It is very much appreciated. Thank you to everyone for watching and to my channel members and Patreons for your ongoing support. It is amazing that you guys support me in the way you do, and very, very much appreciated. And on that note, unless there's anything else, Crimson?
I can't think of anything to say. Hi, Paul.
We will leave it there for the week. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Say bye, Crimson.
Bye, Crimson.
Bye.
Bye.
Where's the mouse? How'd you turn this off then?